group by ball joint lower control arms, and this is, you know, typical of what was left after pocketing on the CNC mill. And I kind of wish I would have gone in with a smaller cutter and gotten into the corners a little tighter. But what I'm having to do here is kind of like fit each one. Okay, you know, there's no way that's going to sit down there nice and neat as it is right now. And these corners are too sharp. I'm not sure just how much I'll show this because I'm never going to do it again. Not this way. But they're coming out pretty nice. I got it figured out how to hold them and get them oriented so that I can tack them with the TIG welder. But I first got about, you know, 5 to 10 minutes worth of grinding. Just about on each arm. A couple of the arms haven't taken that long. I'm starting to get the hang of it. So there's still a ton of finish work left. And once this is done, you'll see I'll be able to go in here and weld in the bottom. Once the bottom's welded, then I can weld the plate on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the process, and hopefully it shows up here. Hopefully you can see that. I got to get on the bench grinder and on the belt grinder basically and do that, and that's what helps the radius fit into the pocket better. And so I'm able to get it to sit down in there and hold just a little bit nicer. It can really chew up a sanding disc, but I try to get in there and knock the bigger, heavier stuff off. Maybe I should try it with this sometime, but okay, now starts the trying to get the fit in there. Right there. Okay. It doesn't want to fit in there. But if I go grind it on the belt grinder a bit, see how much better that already fits in? Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. And I found out too that some of them are a little skewed, and so I have to go in and tweak the pocket a little bit to get this to sit right. I've been using this long bolt because that gives me a much better reference point, you know, to eyeball down there and see whether or not I have it close. So even with just that little bit of grinding, you can see that fits so much better because of those radiuses. Now it's skewed counterclockwise a bit, so I'm going to take the burr, I'm going to grind a little off this edge and this edge, then that'll allow it to twist to where I want. Okay, that seems pretty close. It's sitting down pretty much where I want it in the back. I don't care that it's a little proud in the front here. I'm not looking to recess it, and the reason for that is because when I need to be able to put a socket on it. I'm using a thick-walled impact socket as a gauge, but the reality is most people are going to be using thin-walled regular sockets, so I think that might be close enough. Yes, I could just go grind more on the shock mount as opposed to you know, with the disc and stuff, but I'm here with the disc, so. Okay, let's I don't need them absolutely perfect, but I definitely want them close. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help make sure that neither of these is, you know, twisted in either direction. So that looks pretty good. It adds a little weight to it. It holds it. It keeps them there, and then I can fire up the TIG welder. I'm only doing tacks with the TIG. I'll go back and MIG weld this, but then I shut the TIG welder back off so I don't have to sit there and listen to it. So, and after it's been sitting for 15, 20, I always hit the pedal once to get the gas flowing back up through the umbilical. Then I'll put them aside, they'll cool down, I'll come back to them later and I'll put them in the glass bead cabinet and shoot around here to get rid of the oxidization, any other paint, e-coating, whatever. It'll also make sure that anything that was ground in by the abrasive discs, you know, from clearing that and shaping that, that'll be knocked out of the way. It won't affect the weld. So I already have one that I hit in the glass bead cabinet, so I thought I would just go ahead and show it so I don't forget later, because I can't shoot in the glass bead cabinet. It just too much blowing around in there to see. I can barely see. So if you notice, I also sandblasted, glass beaded this part as well, and the underside, because I'm going to MIG weld under here and then MIG weld around it up here too. Once I do the bottom, I might possibly just TIG weld it. We'll see. I want to do the bottom first because then that starves the air gap in here, so that way I'm not getting oxygen coming up through if I were to try to TIG weld this. So I may just do that. We'll see. I'll MIG weld the bottom, see how I like it, and then I may just TIG weld the top. I'm not that great of a TIG welder. I may just do it for MIG on the top here. MIGging the bottom would make it strong enough. I could just leave it, but that looks like ass. So I will make a point to weld that anyway.